Welcome everyone back to another episode of Q&A with Sharon's son George. I was my mother's caregiver after she was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. Sadly, she passed on 1/1/2020, so we started Together for Sharon.com in her memory and to advocate today for a cure for all those still battling PD and their families because no one is ever alone in this fight for a cure. Today's guest is someone who is very special to me. I hope he knows it. I had the honor to meet him and give him a hug, and that's really, he might not realize it. I think I mentioned, but we literally flew, no offense to the rest of the organization, but we flew to New York City just for the opportunity so I could give Larry a hug, and it's just an honor to have you here. And you've accomplished so much, but together I feel our voices are so much stronger and there's so much more to do. So I wanted to welcome you to the show.
Well, that's a gracious welcome. Thank you, George.
Thanks. And I told you before we started, this is going to be an important show to me and all those out there. Maybe you could start us off a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Well, I my Parkinson's journey began probably in retrospect around 2000, 2001, but I wasn't diagnosed till 2017. I was a resistant to medication and doctors, and just like bullheaded, and
Mhm.
oh, that's just as the symptoms would, as I would collect the symptoms, I would just sort of shuff them off and go, oh well, that's just a foot thing, or that's just a shaky hand, or that's like I'd have excuses for everything. And then when I got my trimmer, my son goes, Dad, but why are you shaking so bad? And he goes, I said, I don't know. He goes, you should go see a doctor. And so I did. And then I was diagnosed officially in 2017, and the MDS said, "Yeah, you probably have Parkinson's." I'm like, "Probably? Aren't you like a doctor or something? Like, can we get like can we sure that up a little bit?" He goes, "Well, there's only one test I can give you, and it's an autopsy."
Oh my
I was like, "Well, I'll pass on that." And then let's see, my symptoms progressed pretty quick. I was up to 21 levodopa pills a day in 2023, and it was had neuropathy, and I was shuffling my feet and falling down, and I mean I was like, wow, this is really something. And then I had DBS surgery, deep brain stimulation, and it's changed my world. It's just changed my world. So that was I guess about a year and 2 months ago, and I'm down to 1.5 pills a day, and loving life.
Well, I really appreciate sharing that, and I really believe we need you out there on the front lines. And the thing that I admire most is how much you still accomplish despite all the obstacles. You stand up and fight, not just for yourself and your family, but for so many others out there. And that's why, again, I just really admire all you do and our friendship. There are tough days I might have. I had many surgeries myself, unfortunately, due to my back. And I always think about you and all the other individuals out there still fighting, and I kind of just like a Jay-Z song, brush myself off and just keep fighting because I think a cure is more important than anything, at least for me and so many of you out there. But just
I,
incredible.
I think it's a really important to remind ourselves that everybody's going through something. This is
Yeah.
just what I was given. Could be worse, could be better, but you know, the more I talk to people, the more I realize that whether it's Parkinson's or cancer or whatever, everybody's going through something.
No, I agree. That's definitely an important point. I also try to start off a lot of the shows with a little quote. This is from JFK, actually. Efforts and courage are not enough without purpose and direction. And that's where I wanted to kind of take our show now. I'm going to wait a moment to share and talk a little bit about some of the things you've accomplished, but wanted to really start. If we had the machine to make a drum roll, it would be with PD Avengers. And one question I've had for a year or two now since we've known each other is, what kind of gave you the idea to start PD Avengers? And maybe also if you could share what PD Avengers is, and I'll also screen share a lot of
Sure.
while you're talking.
So PD Avengers is a global alliance to end Parkinson's disease, and it was there's about 8,000 members worldwide. It is a patient-led organization. I'm the president. Tim Haig, Senior, and Sonia Mather are the co-founders with me. And we have 8,000 members, 150 partner organizations, and we are represented in 103 different countries. Our goal is to add urgency to the cause of ending Parkinson's. We looked around and we realized there's just not enough urgency. Like, we're too nice sometimes.
Mhm.
And that's the trait. You'll hear that from MDS and others. Like, boy, the Parkinson's patients are so kind, but that's also an easy way to get forgotten. And so we need this sort of a persistent voice. And we try to do it in three different ways. We do it through exercise or wellness. We do it through advocacy, and we do it through research. And we figure with those three pillars and a think global, act local mentality, we can really make some accomplishments.
No, I appreciate it. And I am a big believer that together, again, our voices can really reach so many more. And that's one thing I really do love too, as a part of PD Avengers, is that you bring so many individuals around the world together. We could all be out there easily and just kind of say, all right, you know what, I don't want to deal with this or bother. I'll be on my own. But why do that when really the goal is the same for everyone? And as you know, Michael J. Fox Foundation mission, which I love, is they don't want to be there anymore if we find a cure. And that's one thing
Right.
I really do encourage everyone. Please go to pdavengers.com. We'll be sharing the links and a lot more. I always also believe that this show, after the lights, camera, and the paparazzi leave today, has to continue. This conversation can't end even after our talk today. Have to continue to share this until the cure is at everyone's doorsteps around the world. Wanted to go back a little and thank you again for the interview you did with us a while ago. It's really frightening how quickly the time flies. We met around August 31, 2023, and it's already 2025. So
I know.
amazing. If everyone goes to Together for Sharon, completely again free, click interviews, you can see a lot more in depth with Larry and also a lot more about his biography and links to all the incredible work he's done. Also, as internet allows, you can also go down to togetherforsharon.com. And when the internet is up, you'll see Meet the Spark. You'll see how we're really big on promoting PD Avengers and how important it is to get the word out there. Maybe you could talk about Meet the Spark and a lot of the things that you've been doing. I love when we turn the world blue, and
Yeah.
it's just beautiful. And I do want everyone out there to get involved, but also to be aware, because I believe the biggest issue still is just awareness, and we need to get individuals outside of the Parkinson's community too. I feel we'll be much closer to a cure if we have those who aren't diagnosed and people who aren't caregivers. So that's really a big message. We need everyone out there listening to also support and share.
Yeah, let me back up real quick because
Please.
I want to tell you how we began. So there was this book called Ending Parkinson's Disease, written by Ray Dorsey and Michael Hoken and Boz Bloom and Todd Shearer, who was the head of Michael J. Fox Foundation. And they wrote it right at the beginning of the pandemic. And it was all about how Parkinson's is the new pandemic. Well, that didn't really match up. So it didn't get as much attention as we were hoping it would. But that book changed my life, and it empowered me and us to really dive in and take take responsibility for getting the word out about Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's disease is the fastest growing neurological condition in the world, and it's not slowing down. I mean, in the book from 2001 to year 2000, it was in the book, there's a chart. It says by 2040, there'll be 12 million people with Parkinson's. Well, we're right now, or yeah, 12.9. And right now we're at 11.8.
Yeah,
So that's a little, we're ahead of schedule.
yeah,
And that's not good.
yeah.
So we are really trying to get a global focus on Parkinson's. So like 2/3 of the world don't have access to the main drug for Parkinson's, which is levodopa carbidopa. Um, 2/3 of the world. That's unbelievable. It's not expensive. We just we just have to break down some barriers and knock on enough doors. And the more people we have as a PD Avenger, the more influence we have around the world, which is why we need people to sign up for PD Avengers. It's free. And all you're doing is basically signing up for our newsletter. And if you want to volunteer, there's those options, but you don't have to volunteer and there's no obligation. These guys who wrote this book, Ending Parkinson's Disease, have a new book coming out.
Yeah.
And so be on the lookout for that. It's going to be a sequel to the Ending Parkinson's Disease book, and it's going to be it's going to be something else. It's keep an eye out for it because it's needed, it's necessary, and we need to keep pounding the drum. Now your spark the night. So this symbol right here is a spark. And that's sort of to represent dopamine, which we're lacking in our brain. It's also meant to add urgency to the cause of ending Parkinson's disease. And so on World Parkinson's Night, which is June 11th, we will be, not June 11th, I'm confusing it with my son's birthday, April 11th. Uh, we're going to be lighting up over 600 buildings around the world in a blue. And we have all the details on what color of blue it is. and we're encouraging people to decorate their homes, go to the Hanukkah, post-Hanukkah sales, get their blue lights so you can decorate your homes. But it's amazing. And last year we had over 200 buildings worldwide. We're going to double that this year. And we're really excited with the idea of just having people, giving people a reason to talk about Parkinson's. Hey, why is that building blue? Oh, well, let me tell you about it. And we'll create certain pamphlets for public buildings. We're going to have the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland lit up. We're going to have right now I think we have over 100 buildings already committed, from Tennessee to California to Florida, Ohio, New York, and UK, Italy, Africa. So we're making inroads, and we're far ahead from where we were last year at this time, because last year we hadn't even started yet. So we're feeling good about it.
I think it's now become bigger than a movement. We need to create a new word because this is something, again, that's global, worldwide. And I was, when my mother passed, unfortunately, on 1/1/22, I realized there were more than 1 million people in the US, but kind of heartbroken when I found out 2 years after about the World Parkinson Congress and that there were 10 million people around the world. And that's when I realized it can't just be about my mother and I, it had to be everyone as a family in this fight. That kind of leads us to the World Parkinson Congress. I was going to say I would need to get a hug and picture but with you there, but we have one. So this will be my second one together. And I hope for the opportunity to join you there. Maybe you could touch a little bit about your background with the World Parkinson Congress, and also everyone, we do recommend you look into joining us all there. It's going to be, I just imagine, I won't be sleeping much. I'll be in the halls hugging everyone. And just
Yeah.
like, I hope they don't get mad at me. I mentioned it a few times if I don't see any of the actual speakers, because I can imagine it's going to be beautiful.
Well, a lot of the business gets done in the
Yeah.
hallways. It's the seventh World Parkinson Congress is going to be in Phoenix, Arizona. It's going to be May 24th, 27th, 2026. I was an ambassador last year, or for the last uh, uh, World Parkinson Congress, and then the time before that, I did the podcast. I traveled with the podcast with Life Gives You Parkinson's to Japan, which was amazing. And this last one was in Spain, and now we're going to come back to the U.S., which is great. And no excuses. Everybody, Phoenix is easy to get to, no matter where you are in the world. It's just I think there's a direct flight from just about every airport, or at least one stopover. But we really encourage everybody to go. It's going to be a ton of fun, very informational. And I'm on the committee to help design the YOPD programming. So if you have any ideas on what we should be doing there, please feel free to send them to me.
Thank you. That's an exciting. It's funny because I remember when they announced it about a year ago, and it's almost like you just look at the clock. It's about right around the corner. So please, everyone, go to the worldpdcoalition.org. Again, I'll share that link. Simple. Just click on it. Can stay up to date. I already have it marked in my calendar. I'm just hoping. Unfortunately, I might have another back surgery. Might remove everything just because it didn't really work, and trying to time
They're
that.
going to implant a spine?
They already did that. I'm gonna have to be spineless now.
Oh,
It might work. I might be better off, but I just hope it doesn't interfere. So I wanted to now talk another drum roll, but this is the most drum rolls in the show, and because we have again my one of my heroes, Larry Gifford, with us live, and no other better way to really kick off a New Year shows with Larry. And again, I've been with you many times through some of the PD Avenger meetings, and just so beautiful the things that seeing so many people and faces that I know at the meetings and everyone just together for one same purpose. I wanted to now talk a little bit about another beautiful thing that you're involved with, which I always joke I don't. We must both be good at time management because I don't know how we get some of these things done. And you again, it's just incredible. Now we move to the Michael J. Fox Foundation. Was curious how you started and learned about them, and now a little bit maybe we've had some incredible individuals, many from the patient council, but you bring such an incredible perspective also. And we don't won't have the time to talk about your amazing career in radio and all the things you've done, but maybe you could touch a little bit on the Michael J. Fox Foundation and why you decided to kind of be, spearhead a lot of the incredible things that they do around the world.
sure. Yeah, the Michael J. Fox Foundation, I've been involved with them for, I think, 7 years now. They actually found me. I launched my podcast, and there was media about it in Canada, and they get clips every day, and in the package that the news team put together, they used Michael J. Fox footage because he's from Vancouver, and um, and they said, "Hey, you want to have a coffee?" I said, "Sure." That led to a couple of meetings over the phone, just picking my brain about things, and then they said, "Would you like to join our patient council?" And I was like, "Yeah, that'd be great." So I joined about, yeah, I guess it would be about 7 years ago now. And once or twice a year we get together. We all fly out to New York and sit in the same room, and we actually help advise the Fox Foundation on how to go about involving patients in their research, and how, are they researching the right things? Is this stuff that the patients really want? Are the patients involved in the process from soup to nuts? And then like I'm also on a committee for GATE, so we meet monthly, and I help sort of advise on which kind of projects we want to invest our research money into. Do we want high risk, high reward? Do we want low risk, you know, high reward? Like what are we looking to do here? And so I have I'm not the final arbiter, but I have a say, and I'm on the committee and council, and it's been great. They've given me the opportunity to host a podcast and webinars and the live events, and I enjoy all the different organizations, but there's a place in my heart for the Michael J. Fox Foundation for sure.
I really appreciate it. And I almost think as you're talking that we need the next thing you need to work on is the Larry Gifford Almanac on Parkinson's because there's so many things that are so important we need to get out there. But I know if I need something or some kind of information, I turn to you and you're always there for me. So I really appreciate that. And everyone, please also support the Michael J. Fox Foundation and all that Larry's doing there. One beautiful time was again the Unity Walk. It was my first time. Thankfully, it didn't end after COVID because I know they had some kind of trouble continuing it on. And then Michael
Yeah.
J. Fox Foundation continued it. And just being there and raising awareness and so many funds for the cause in just 4 hours. I believe they raised $2 million, and finally got to meet so many people who I consider celebrities in this area. And just again, it's amazing being virtual. Obviously, that's been a big plus, but to be there live, there's no better feeling. So hopefully we'll be back next year. And I
I'll
do
be there.
recommend everyone to go, and you can actually give Larry a hug like I did.
Yeah, I give out free hugs.
Yeah, and beautiful stickers and all different stuff. I love. I wanted to kind of touch shortly because we have so much more to do on some other things. It's beautiful the support from Parkinson's Canada. Also, maybe you could touch. I don't know how active it is, but I did a lot of research before we met on things. I'm a PhD in my background. I'm a police officer and lawyer. I think you know, and my PhD was in criminal justice, but research journal is very important. I wonder. I just subscribe, but is how active is and what the status is of the Journal of Parkinson's disease, and also if you can touch on your podcast that you stopped. So just curious why, probably because you've done it many years, but just curious on those two topics.
Sure. The Journal of Parkinson's Disease was founded by Boz Bloom and some others. I'm a sort of one of the um, editors or the reviewers, and it's great. It's really uh, I subscribe to quite a few journals because I want to stay up to date on what's going on in the Parkinson's community. But this is a good one because this incorporates the voice of the patient. They will accept abstracts from people with Parkinson's, as opposed some of the scientific journals won't. So I really appreciate what they're doing. And then we also, as far as the podcast goes, when Life Gives You Parkinson's, we did 115 episodes, I think. And so after we did the last 9 episodes are all about my DBS and all about DBS as a process. And after that, I looked at my wife. I'm like, I don't know that there's much else to talk about right now. So we don't have to kill it. So it's still there. Everybody can still, people find it every day. I still get, hey, I just listened to episode 1. Thanks, man. And we appreciate every listener. But we are going to, we're just taking a pause. I've been hosting the Brian Grant Foundation podcast, the Michael J. Fox Foundation podcast, and guesting on podcasts like this one.
Okay.
And there's so much great content out there. When I first started, there was no podcast out there that was the voice of the patient. And now there's a lot. And so I don't think it's needed as much. But we need other people to step up and share their voice and their stories because storytelling is really where this is at. And I think people need to get comfortable sharing their Parkinson's stories. The more people that share their stories will bring more awareness, which will raise more money to do more research to cure this.
I agree, and we'll definitely keep when Life Gives You Parkinson's alive. We'll be sharing that a lot, and we'll also add the links to the show today. Sadly, not sure if I ever share with you, but my mother had Parkinson's for 15 years, and I felt alone as a caregiver. We didn't know all these incredible sources and resources like PD Avengers was out there. And in 15 years, I don't believe she ever met somebody with Parkinson's. And that kind of,
Wow.
yeah, it's shocking because I just picture me logging on to one of the PD Avengers meeting today with her. She would have been in heaven because she just would have loved to have known there were other people still out there, but also standing up and fighting like you and so many others by your side. And that's again why I believe you are a hero to me and to so many. And it's such an honor to be able to sit down today, even for a short time, and talk.
Well,
So,
thanks. I appreciate that. And I encourage anybody to come to the meetings. If you go to the meetings page on pdavengers.com, just pdavengers.com/meetings, it'll give you the details on the time and the dates that they're happening. We meet once a month. Sometimes there's 7 people there, sometimes there's 70. You just never know.
and
We're
sometimes,
changing the time to try to get more people involved, so it's going to be closer to like 8:30. as
Mhm.
opposed Pacific as opposed to 11 o'clock Pacific. So hopefully that'll get some more people involved.
Yeah, it's very important. I believe people can sign up for the newsletter too for PD Avengers. That's important.
Yeah, well, I just joined PD Avengers and you're in the news. You get the newsletter for sure.
And thanks for also always supporting us. We're on the site, but it's we try to do the same or even as much as I can share everything on all social media. PD Avengers is also on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and believe LinkedIn. So you can definitely find them, and I'm sure Threads.
Yeah,
So
wherever people are socializing, we're trying to be there.
yeah. Well, on the final part of the show, I want to shift now to, I always say the fun part, but I think I've been having a lot of fun so far. But this is where we talk a little bit more about you. Can you list three words that describe who you are?
Three words that describe who I am. I am determined. I am loyal, and I am fun.
I agree with all those and I appreciate it. This one's a tough one because I know you've done so many incredible things. Is there one moment or one most memorable moment that stands out through most of your work today with awareness that you can share?
Um, I would say it's sort of a collection of moments. It's anytime I'm approached by somebody who tells me, "Oh, thank God for your podcast," or "Thank you for sharing your story because I thought I was alone." And that caused me to do XYZ. If we can inspire people to get up and get out of their houses and socialize with people and that have Parkinson's disease, to exercise, to get involved in the community, it actually you cultivate your own hope that way. And there's a lot of hope right now in the Parkinson's community.
Yeah, I think that statement is so powerful that it needs to be shared. And if we had a name of the show, that's what it would be because it's such an important statement. So I appreciate you sharing it. This is another area that a lot of time we don't get to and other shows and things, I believe. I always like to kind of, you're the face of a lot of this amazing advocacy, but there are people behind the scenes and in your life we want to send our love and support to. I was wondering who helps you during times of struggle. And I know one of the individuals you really might mention, but we wanted to kind of give a moment to shine not the literal spotlight, but a little bit of the thanks to your family, your support, and the people behind the scenes that don't really always get the thanks or attention from the society outside of.
Well, my wife Rebecca has been a huge support of mine. And she is a huge support to a lot of people. She does writing workshops for people with Parkinson's and for care partners. And so she's taken her skill set and applied it to the community, which is great. And then my son, Henry, he's 15 and he helps out. He's really supportive during the surgery and everything. And then I've got a community with the Improv for Parkinson's group here in it's based out of Vancouver, and we've got guys that I go to lunch with once a month, and then we meet up and do improv every week, and it's super fun, and it's good to have a community like that.
Thank you. And we send our love and support again to Rebecca, your son, to the whole family, and everyone in your kind of circle, because I know that some days it's not always easy, but they lift you up and always remember we're here too for you. So thanks for that and all.
Thank you.
Who is your hero and inspiration?
My hero and inspiration.
This is the hard-hitting Barbara Walters topics.
Well, I try not to put people on pedestals too much, um, because they say you never want to meet your heroes in real life.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I have a tough time because nobody's perfect. But I would say if I was to create a hero or somebody I admire, the way they go about life, um, You know, my brother Bruce is a very fair-minded guy. My dad died 20 some years ago. So my brother Bruce has really stepped up, and he sort of is the calm, cool, collected older brother.
Mhm.
And I really admire the way he has gone about his life.
I appreciate you sharing that. And we send our thanks to him as well for all that he does. We need our support. I know I wouldn't have made it through my mother's tougher times and towards the last year if it wasn't for my wife and my family. So appreciate you sharing that. This is one that you kind of touched on, but I still am fascinated. But what drives and motivates you through, the tougher times? Because there's got to be a day where you say, I need a minute. Or obviously, we just took the holiday, but I always think in my brain, which is always running, I guess, too fast, that Parkinson's disease doesn't take a break, so why should I? And
Well,
I kind of
let
break
me
that.
flip that on you.
Yeah.
Parkinson's will still be here tomorrow until it isn't.
Yeah.
So whatever you don't get done today, you can pick it back up tomorrow. You have to make space for your family and for just your personal life, or it'll overwhelm you.
Yeah.
So what I do when I, I'll get, so some days I just show up and I go, you know what, not today. And I just go watch TV, or I go to the store, or I go down the street, have a coffee. And there's actually quite a few of us who have Parkinson's who live in my community, and we end up at the same coffee shop and talk about Parkinson's and whatnot. But I think what really gets me motivated is talking to people in the community, hearing their stories, and seeing small successes, small victories. And sometimes you can't see the small victories on your own. So when you start sharing, talking to people, they go, "Well, that's great," and you're like, "Oh, is it? Like I didn't realize that was great," you know?
Mm.
And so I think it's really it's motivating, and it's again, it cultivates hope when you start talking to other people in the community and you realize that people are doing a lot of things, a lot of great things.
Yeah, I love that because, well, number one, I think we need more in South Florida. For some reason, there's not a coffee shop I can walk into and see other individuals. And Palm Beach, Florida is a big, fundraising area, it's just not one that's tapped into enough. But we need more. And I always think in my head, it's the only journey that breaks my heart is the one I'm not aware of. And that's why when I found you and all the PD Avengers and all the incredible things you all do, it really changed my life for the better because I still feel in a way lost and grieving even 5 years later because my mother was my best friend, always will be, and a piece of me kind of is gone since she passed. But every person I meet and every journey I learn, I feel like she still continues, at least in her memory, to live on. So
How old were you when she was diagnosed?
well, that's interesting. She had it for about 15 years, but we didn't really know about it for 7 because she didn't tell us and she didn't share it. The only reason I found out is she started towards the last 7 years have extreme stiffness in her left arm, so it was noticeable. But even then, I feel like she didn't want to burden our family, but I wish she had. So, I mean, I don't think we could have, looking back, done anything differently, but I still don't understand what happened and why it excelled so quickly. It was, I know every journey is different, and there are people living with it at different ages, but she was only 69. So I feel like we kind of lost 15 years alive and 15 after. But
Yeah.
I do think she kind of lives on in my weird world by meeting you and through PD Avengers and through everyone I've had the honor, even to meet for a short time, because you all keep me going, and I'm forever grateful for that.
And tell me about her. What was she like?
Oh yeah, I mean, she was my best friend. She was the first person I went to for the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I would call her probably 10 times a day. I always say I need one of those shirts that say, I'm proud to be a mama's boy. But she was someone in my life that was everything. From the time I wanted to quit police academy, quit law school, met many girls and didn't work out. Everything from that to playing basketball to anything I could dream of, whether I was going to make a decision or quit the PhD because it took 7 years and I didn't want to finish. She was right there at the phone or by my side to give me the advice I always needed. I don't think I'd be the man I am today or have accomplished what I have if it wasn't for her sacrifices. And not to go too long, but she was a school teacher and she had a master's degree and gave it all up to raise me and my brother. A lot of people might not do that. And I was born in Brooklyn, New York, we didn't really have much. She gave all that up so my father could go to medical school and that, he could do his career and it paid off. But, it's not the same. One funny moment, she brought me up, and I used to say it was torture, but driving throughout New York City and listening to Barry Manilow, Michael Bolton, and Lionel Richie. But not today. I love them. So we actually got a chance to see Lionel Richie, and ironically, the band Earth, Wind, and Fire opened up, and I didn't even know the lead singer had Parkinson's. I reached out to
Yeah,
them, and they liked one of my posts that we miss him. And but anyway, so the sadder part of that, so my wife didn't want to go, and she went for me, but I was thinking my mother the whole time. Second we left the show, I was excited, and I wanted to call my mother and tell her, but obviously, I couldn't. But those are the little things, the moments that I don't think Parkinson's can ever take away. And that
yeah.
our kind of job is to continue to never let them be forgotten. So
And how do you balance all this?
I find myself many nights not sleeping, being sad about the loss and kind of confused still what happened. Because, like I said, we both have met so many people who are 80, maybe 90. Of course, they're struggling, but they're still with their family. But I think writing, meeting you, going to PD Avenger meetings, like I recommend everyone to, it's a support that I didn't have. That means the world to me. And that's the only thing really that keeps me going is knowing that we still have a job to do and that we have to end this disease. Because, I didn't think about it, but someone on the show recently mentioned how they're fighting and advocating for their children. I didn't even, sometimes we think about, our loved ones who aren't here and the people now like you fighting, but we forget that this continues on and can affect me and our children. So we need to put an end to it as fast as we can. And until that, I won't rest.
And to that end, the EPA has until January 15th to announce if they're going to ban paraquat.
Yeah.
So we're keeping our eye on that. And they did ban TCE last month. So we're making headway on some of these dangerous chemicals that are um, connected to Parkinson, onsets of Parkinson's. And with your support and with the PD Avengers support and everybody out there that's just doing anything. If you're talking about it with a friend one on one, that's better than not.
Yeah.
And it all matters. Collectively, we're going to make a dent in the globe.
Yeah, and I'm a big believer it was the environment. Obviously, I don't have evidence or scientific proof, but my mother lived in a nice home for 20 years, but she had termites, she had mold, she had normal things after 20 years of a home, had horrifying sprays. Today it's funny, I look back, they don't even allow bug companies in my community to go into your house. They only spray external. I don't know how
Right.
safe it is anyway outside, but it's interesting that 10 years ago they would bombard the house with sprays, and I always wondered how's that safe even for our animals? Like they're licking this, it's just horrifying. And
Well, growing up, I remember my parents had a service called Chem Lawn where they'd just spray our lawn.
yeah,
Turns out that was full of paraquat.
yeah, well,
So,
I think
you
with
never know what it's going to do. And, you do the best you can in the moment with the information you have.
well,
Some weeks coffee's not good for you, and some weeks coffee is good for you. And some weeks,
yeah.
smoking's bad, but if you smoke it, you won't get Parkinson's. I'm like, well, I must not have smoked long enough.
And then it's amazing the technology. I mean, I love when the Michael J. Fox Foundation will send out an email that we can share about PowerQuai, and you click a button, it goes right to your senator. So you
Yeah.
mentioned earlier, there's even more no excuse. It took me 2 seconds. I did it 20, 30 times, but we got to get that out there. And it's amazing though to see it even reach. And we don't have the time, but we could discuss the national plan for hours because in a way I'm excited, but I'm kind of worried how it will be implemented and when. And then if you look before that, how could this be the first legislation as an attorney and someone who worked in politics myself and left because it was chaos, the whole world. But how could it be the first law in US history to help people with Parkinson's. That's kind of, shocking in and of itself.
It's unbelievable, but I'm glad it's happening.
Yeah.
And then the other thing to keep in mind, as you were talking there, it popped in my head, the paraquat. Oh shoot, now I forget what I was going to say. That's a Parkinson's moment.
That's okay. We're always here to come back live and share another story anytime.
Okay. I oh I wanted to say we did put together a petition for the EPA for paraquat. We had 53,000 people sign it.
Oh,
And so hopefully that will have an impact to congressmen and senators and the EPA, more importantly, because we're sending it to everybody. We're trying to make our voices be heard. And so in order to do that, you got to bug everybody.
and we need everyone listening too to not just share this, but to contact your local representatives. If it has to be more than once, do it twice, three times. They say flood the offices of these individuals who we elected, they will make change or we replace them and find someone who will. And it really is very important. And I just hope that it's implemented because that's one thing. It's been a few months. I know we're moving to a new administration, but I just want it to be implemented immediately. And that's one thing I hope maybe you could even provide some updates once in a while because it's we have to go through the Michael J. Fox Foundation who knows a little bit more inside, and I love to share that. I always want to do a monthly show once a month about the national plan and to see how it's progressing, but it's not always easy to get representatives and things.
Yeah, it's not easy to get information on it right now, but I think there's going to be an open call for people to be on the panel, and it's it's passed, so it's not like the new administration can stop it.
Mhm.
There's no money attached to it yet, but
Right.
it does need money to get to ultimately proceed. So we're gonna have to, but that's kind of what this whole thing is they're gonna figure out where's all the possible money for Parkinson's coming from. And I think there's like 17 different departments.
Yeah.
We're only getting it from like 3 right now. So like literally, it's like the average person with Parkinson's costs the US government, I want to say like 60, 70,000, which is like another 56 billion dollar expense once you add it all up. And they only put $250 million towards research, which is about nothing when you
Yeah.
compare it to other diseases and other things that they spend money on. So we need to continue to advocate for ourselves and for the cause for sure.
And fundraising so important. I mean, we spent about $50,000 from our family just to get to awareness for Parkinson's, and obviously, I don't think I can keep that up. But if everybody even just donated $1, I always say that would be change the world for so many. And to the Michael J. Fox, we don't accept anything, as I always tell everybody. And one time it was funny, and we don't have a lot more time, but I was at a
Yeah, it's
think we were at a walk for the Parkinson's Foundation or one of the American Parkinson's Disease Association. Someone handed me $5 and donated. I said, I ran right home, went on the website, donated, and sent the gentleman a receipt. As we wrap up, I have two more last questions, and I get
okay.
such an
Rapid
honor.
fire. Let's go.
This one you'll love. If you were asked, which you might have been, but if you were asked to write a script to a movie about your life story, what would you call it, and what actor would play your role?
Oh, geez. Well, I think I would call it the um, right place at the right time. I've had a very blessed career in life, and I just feel like things fell into place, even with Parkinson's. It just, as shitty as it can be some days, I, I, I'm blessed to have had the opportunity to meet all these great people in this community. And I think the actor who would play me, oh boy, I've always been like the fat John Cusack. So
You're in great
maybe
shape.
people can suggest people.
Sounds good. And then the last question, and I don't like saying last because this is to be continued, but if you could leave the Parkinson's community today with some words of encouragement, what would they be?
This is not easy.
Mm.
This is an unpredictable, progressive, degenerative disease. And there's going to be good days, there's going to be bad days. But there's always tomorrow and the next day. Keep hope alive. Understand this is temporary. This too shall pass. And there are people that are wanting to help you. So reach out to the community, reach out to through your physicians, through, if you haven't done therapy, whether it's mental therapy or occupational therapy or physical therapy, do it. It makes a big difference. And I would just encourage everybody to become a PD Avenger and, you know, just keep up to date on the information in the community, on the news of Parkinson's. Listen, we're all in this together, and nobody can do this alone. It's a hard, hard, hard road to travel down, and we're here for you. So come with us, and we'll show you the way.
I loved it, and I agree. And also, I'm a member, so not just a spokesperson, but also a member. And I have a little message for you, Larry, and everyone listening. We love you, we support you, we care a lot about you, and you're never alone. I, along with Larry and PD Avengers, will advocate for you, and together our voices are so much stronger. I always kind of end with, "I'm just getting started," because even though neither of us are, I won't stop until the cure is at everyone's doorstep throughout the world. So, Larry, it's such an honor. I've been so excited to get an opportunity to sit down more than a few minutes because we always have so many people with us and around. But this has been such a pleasure, honor, and just gives me so much hope and everyone else too, I hope. And please also follow Larry and support him at PD Avengers, Michael J. Fox Foundation, Parkinson's Canada, the World Parkinson's Congress, and Ending Parkinson's Disease. The book part two will be out shortly. We've had some incredible guests too who are the writers. So I just wanted to again send a hug, a virtual hug, and I hope someday soon be able to thank you as again as we did once live. It's just been such an honor. You, sir, not just a teacher, and you don't like to hear it, but you are a hero. And just keep doing what you're doing, and we'll be right by your side until there's a cure.
No, thanks so much, George, and thanks for all you do. And my condolences to you on the fourth, what is it, the fourth anniversary,
Fifth.
fifth anniversary of your mother's death.
Appreciate it.
And I know how hard it is to lose a parent. And it's good to see you taking some of that energy and making a difference in the world. So keep up the good work. Keep moving forward, and make sure you heal yourself too.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, with your help and everyone's support out there, it's really just been another part of my journey. So I'm grateful again for all you do. Also, want to thank you all for listening, for supporting us. We're in a new year and we have so many more incredible things to do together. So the best is
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. And again, thanks for joining us for another episode of Q&A with Sharon's son, George. Please stay tuned. We have so much more to come. And Gary and all of us, Larry and I, will not rest until the cure is at everyone's doorsteps around the world. Thanks, everyone.